Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Always a pleasure to be back.
Today we're going to be talking about Okot Mark. You might know him as Rey Macc.
Oh yeah, definitely familiar with his work.
Yeah, and there's a lot of buzz around his upcoming single, Love on Me.
Right.
So we'll try to unpack that a little.
Okay.
But first off the bat, I got to ask about this name change. What do you think about an artist like Rey Macc, pretty established, switching over to Okot Mark? What does that tell you?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? A name change like that, it feels kind of like a real statement, you know? It makes you wonder what direction he's going in. Like, is this a whole new sound we're going to hear?
It feels very deliberate.
Definitely deliberate, yeah. It could be like a return to his roots, Okot Mark, that's his given name, right? So maybe he wants to be more personal with his music, connect with the audience on a deeper level.
And it just so happens that this single, Love on Me, is actually part of his debut album. I mean, that's a pretty big deal.
Oh, absolutely. Debut albums are always huge. They really give an artist a chance to show the world what they're all about. Like, this is me, this is my vision kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So Love on Me is described as having this really cool fusion of like old school vibes, but with these very contemporary Afrobeat rhythms. What do you make of that? What comes to mind when you hear that?
Ooh, that's a really exciting combination. Musically, I think it has the potential to attract a lot of different listeners. You've got that nostalgic appeal with the old school elements, but then you bring in the energy of Afrobeats.
Yeah.
So it could appeal to different generations, different genres. It's smart, musically speaking.
It's like he's trying to bring everyone together.
Yeah, exactly. A real melting pot of sounds.
And the description of the single itself, they call it a heartfelt symphony of love and longing.
That's a powerful image, right?
But I also noticed there's a little bit of melancholy in the lyrics you shared with me. How does that play out in the music itself? Does the music reflect that?
Oh, for sure. And that's what makes it so interesting, you know? It's not just your typical happy-go-lucky love song. There's depth there. There's a sense of yearning, maybe even a little bit of sadness, like something's just out of reach. It's that kind of longing that gets you right in the feels, you know?
Yeah, that's the kind of music that really stays with you.
Exactly. It's not just something you listen to and forget. It lingers. It makes you think.
And the theme, right? This longing to be with someone you cherish. That's something that pretty much everyone can relate to.
Absolutely. We've all felt that at some point in our lives, haven't we? Whether it's romantic love or missing a loved one or even just yearning for something we can't quite have. It's a universal experience.
And Okot Mark captures that beautifully in this single. It's a really powerful piece of music.
I'm really excited to see what he does with the rest of the album.
Same here. Okay, so just to recap, we have Okot Mark, formerly Rey Macc, debut album on the horizon, and this amazing single, Love on Me.
Blending the old and the new.
Exactly. It's a fusion of old school and Afrobeat sounds that explores this universal theme of love and longing. Don't forget to check out the pre-save link. We'll have that in the show notes.
Definitely do that.
But here's a little food for thought before you go. I keep thinking about this whole blend of old school vibes and modern Afrobeats. Do you think that reflects something bigger happening in music right now? Like, are we seeing more and more artists kind of playing with nostalgia and mixing it up with contemporary sounds?
That's a really interesting observation. And you know, you're right. We are seeing a lot of that lately. It's almost like we're trying to reconnect with the past while still moving forward. Maybe it's a way of making sense of the present by drawing on what's familiar, what's comforting. It's definitely a trend worth exploring further.
Definitely. And I think that's a perfect place to wrap up. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into Okot Mark's upcoming single. It's going to be an exciting release. Until next time, keep those ears open, keep exploring new music, and who knows, maybe we'll deep dive into this whole nostalgia trend soon.
Sounds good.
All right, see you next time.
See ya!